I've used the analogy before, but Jesus, in essence, came to show us how to walk to the rhythm of the song of life. All over the world, throughout history, people have been trying to do things their own way and dancing off beat to this song of life, right? Bumping into each other, looking stupid, trying everything the world has to offer. But Jesus came to this world to show us how to walk in rhythm with the song of life and find joy and find peace in our hearts and fulfillment in a chaotic and dramaful world. But it was nothing like what we would, in our own efforts, try to do to get holy, what we would think that God would expect of us or want from us. We think rules and regulations, right? If I could just be good enough, or if I could just not cuss, if I could just not smoke, if I could just help baby kittens when they're in trouble, if I could just do good stuff, I would be righteous. I'd be good enough to meet this holy God, right? And Jesus addresses that at the end of this passage. He says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. I am gentle and I am humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. My yoke is easy and my burden is light." And basically in the Jewish culture and their religious system, a rabbi's particular views or theologies and the whole of what he believed as far as in certain topics was called his yoke. And that was that rabbi's yoke. And so if somebody was being trained by a rabbi, if they became his disciple, it would be said that they would take that rabbi's yoke upon them. They would adopt those particular little beliefs and all those things, right? But these religious leaders were all deceived into thinking that all of this fluff and this religious phoniness and all these petty little actions and do's and don'ts were what made a man holier than thou. And so Jesus hits the scene and attacks that entire system by which the Jews are trying to serve God. He calls them whitewashed tombs, that they shine up the outside of their life, right? And do all this good stuff and follow these lame little rules, but on the inside they're dead and rotting and phony, and their hearts are far from God. So Jesus has a very different yoke, right? One which is not based on our own ability to please a perfect God, but on God's ability to perfect us. He reveals the reality that every religious philosophy of all time has been man trying to reach God, but that he was here to show us that God loves us so much that he reached down to give us a hand up because we cannot reach God. And Jesus is that hand up, standing right before them saying, "Look, my yoke is easy. My burden is light. All you have to do is trust in me. You don't have to go through all these religious motions anymore because they're just leading you to being holy phonies and self-righteous and judgmental of people who don't follow the rules as good as you guys. None of you can achieve perfection no matter how hard you try. And perfect is what you will have to be in order to enter into the presence of a perfect God. Just put your faith and your trust in me, and I will be your righteousness. I will be that perfection for you. Because you can do all this religious dance every day, all you want, but in the end, the gap between your sinful nature and God's perfection is just way too great to bridge. That's why I came here.